you're doing well. It is Monday, June 22nd, 2020. Y'all, I put 2022. This is so funny. You guys, the Lord's been taking me back to 2022 this year. It's not 2022, it is 2026. And welcome to Mind Heart Mondays. We are pretty much wrapping up our second site series. And that's right, because we have one more Monday. So we are going to finish next Monday. We have one more Monday in June. So I will do the third part. The Eyes of My Heart, that's what I'm titling this tonight, this teaching. And I do have a teaching tonight, you guys. Yes, I do. I wrote this last night. And as promised, I had two teachings on the mind, the handsome mind, and this is our first of two of the beautiful heart. So without further ado, I hope y'all are doing well. Welcome to another week. I hope your Monday has been less chaotic than mine, but nonetheless that it's a good week for you, and that it is going to be a wonderful wrap for June. So, without further ado, let's get started. Our heart. We're talking about the heart now, and I'm titling this The Eyes of My Heart. So, our heart is the central nervous system of self. I always share this, you guys. It is the central nervous system of you. So, this video is going to bring you so much hope to connect with your own heart to prepare it for what God has for you. Okay, so if maybe you're not so much a feeler, you're more of a thinker, and emotions are icky for you, this is going to bless you and encourage you. And if you are a feeler, then you're going to feel right at home with this teaching, and it's just going to be a gentle reminder for you. So, the first thing I want to tell you is that God loves you so much, beyond anything, beyond measure, anything you could ever imagine. Take that in for a second. Some of us need to hear this. God loves you beyond measure. He is love. And this same love pours into us when we allow it to flow. This love heals us, and this love is the same love that we give and pour out to others. At least, hopefully, this is what we are going to have or learn. Learn tonight if this is maybe a message that you've been needing to hear, or you already know the love of God, so this is just going to resonate with you. Without love, our hearts will wither because we were created to love and to be loved. So love is the essence, really, of the human being. Love is our essence, and if we don't have that, then we're not flowing in the fullness of self. Some of us have been through so much that we've closed ourselves off from letting anyone love us or letting ourselves love others. I understand this. I've been in this space before, and many of us have or are in this space. It's a lonely place to live. But tonight, you will have a breakthrough. I promise you, you're going to have a breakthrough tonight. I don't know what it is for you. It's going to be a beautiful breakthrough that you've been needing. And the light will come into those hidden and hurting spaces of your own heart. Welcome, everybody. Good to see you all. Happy to see you guys coming in the chat. Welcome, everybody. I'm so happy you're here. So, whatever you've been through, God saw it. This is important to remember. When we're going through really challenging times, we can forget that we're not alone in these battles. We really aren't. And God does not leave us, He doesn't forsake us when things get hard. He doesn't abandon us when we're going through our darkest moments. In fact, He's very near. Um, but if we're disconnected from Him, or maybe we're angry at God, we can feel that distance and therefore not allow that love to flow through us and heal us where we need it most. So, His will for us is to be healed and loved. God's will for you is to be loved, and to be loved in His true love. In case you don't know that, God's will is for you to be loved, unconditionally, even. Unconditionally. You guys, some of you need to hear this. You don't need to earn your love from anybody, and certainly not from God. He gives us love freely. He's always pouring His love. We just need to posture ourselves to receive it. Because God is love. If you want to know what true love is, it is the Spirit of God. God is love. And it is His Spirit. When we have this revelation, it will change your entire life. I promise you. When you know what true love is, you then understand what counterfeit love is, and it changes your entire life. If you need love, you need God, because God is love. And that love pouring into my heart, it heals me from everything. Everything. And sometimes it takes time. Sometimes we have to go through the process of the inner healing journey, which is where I come in. If you guys are interested, I still have some availability for June. But once I'm on this journey of restoration for my spirit, soul, and body, and I have this love for myself, it begins to heal me. And it begins to give me everything I've been searching for outside. It helps me to see with the eyes of my heart true love. His love is everlasting. It's not contingent on your performance, on how much you do for other people. Y'all, we're breaking chains tonight. It has nothing to do with how much you do for others. Those of us in toxic empathy need to hear this. You don't need to earn your love by overgiving, overdoing, overworking, overwhelm. Because love, true love, is a spiritual inheritance. And this is the kind of love that we all need and that we all seek, to be honest with you. And when you find it from the source, it changes your entire life. How's everybody doing? Sean. Shauna. Hi, Shauna. Hi, Augustine. Hi, Ketchup. Hi, Getch. Hi, Slippy. True love broke your heart. I'm sorry, Shauna. It sounds like your true love wasn't received and honored the way it was deserved to. And I'm sorry you've been through that, and I know that pain. But I promise you that true love won't break your heart. Because God has someone for you that will know your heart or will want to get to know your heart and will want to love it unconditionally. And a lot of us need to hear this because a lot of us have been through this pain, and I've been through this pain myself. Because I am the type of person as well that when I love somebody, I give them everything. I give them all of myself. But, and by the way, I'm going to get into this. I'm going to do some teachings on true God ordained love. I'll put it that way. And tonight, actually, I'm going to get into some of this, and I hope some of this heals and helps you. As I said, when I know what true love is, I automatically have the revelation of what true love is not. And by that, I mean counterfeit. Counterfeit love. Many of us are in this dynamic, unfortunately, or have been. Hopefully, more of you have been, and you're recovering. You're learning, you're healing, you're understanding some of these red flags when you're dating or whatever it is that works for you. But real, true, authentic, honest, pure, divine, and holy love does exist. And it comes directly from God Himself. And it is poured out by God into us once we're ready to receive this. It does exist. And if you're called to a divine union, that is to say that God is bringing your true love, your true person, He will pour that love into that person too, for you. And let me not, you guys, because I could start teaching, but I do want to keep to tonight's topic. So when I do teach on kingdom marriage and kingdom ordained love, I will get into understanding why some of us find ourselves in these cycles and circles of counterfeit love, because there's a reason. There's a reason this happens to us. So those of us who are genuine and invested in our relationships, but seem to keep running into the same toxic patterns from partners who are polar opposite, perhaps, of what we are or what we bring to the relationship. This has everything to do with unhealed childhood trauma and toxic empathy for those of us that are the deep feelers, that are the overgivers, overloving, overextending, for the pure of heart. And childhood trauma and toxic narcissism from partners we tend to be pulled toward. This is true. Many dynamics in these toxic relationships have a narcissist and an empath. Which I've taught them before, and I will get into again. But tonight we're going to learn that love is real, and it comes from love himself. God is love. It is his essence. And he created us to love. It is our essence in our language. This never changes because this is eternal. When you have this true love, when you've had that revelation and that outpouring from God into your heart, and it fills you and it heals you and it changes you, you come to find that this love is permanent and it's eternal. But because of our broken humanity, misrepresentations, and spiritual malformations passed on to us, this love gets distorted and rearranged, and it leads us astray, firstly from ourselves, and then secondly towards others whose brokenness cleaves to ours, usually in unhealthy ways, and this is the toxic dance. This is the natural selection type of love. Brokenness intrigued by brokenness. This is how I describe it. Both helpless and self-focused, seeking validation, attention, and temporary relief from our condition. Is this resonating with anybody tonight? Do you feel like you're here? Or maybe you're coming out of this. So I'm going to kind of share 3 spaces that I feel you might be in when it comes to relationship dynamics and love and a pseudo type of love, I suppose. Number 1, if we're quote unquote lucky, which I don't really believe in luck, but we'll use that word just to illustrate the temporal remedy, we will find a partner who's also comfortable in their broken state. Take this in, you guys. This is a lot. Take this in for a second. Is this the relationship you're in right now? A partner who's also comfortable in their own broken state, occasionally meeting together to get a breath of air, always feeling like something is missing because it is. Hi, Jazz. Thank you. I love twinkly lights. I usually have them up no matter what time of year it is. But thank you. I appreciate that. If you're blessed, actually, before I move on, anybody feel like you're here? You have a partner who has their own issues and struggles, and so do you, because we all do. None of us have it all figured out. So let's preface with that. However, if my partner and I are both in a relationship where neither one of us is really trying to grow, we're comfortable in our brokenness or worse, toxicity, this is an unhealthy relationship. Number 2, if you're super lucky, then you'll find a partner who's in tune with their pain and in recovery, who can love you in a greater capacity, hopefully inspiring you to do the same, or vice versa. Maybe your partner's on the path to recovery, they're really doing the inner work. They're in tune with their trauma, they're in tune with their issues, they're not deflecting every time you bring something up or being defensive, and there's no, you know, communication is unhealthy because you feel like you can never express how you feel because they'll get upset or defensive or they'll blow you off. Um, you know, if you're lucky, at least one of you is on this inner healing journey, and there's a chance if the other person would get to a space where they're willing to also go through this and be on the recovery trajectory, because it can't be one person doing all the work. That doesn't work either. It will work for a little while, but the healthier person in the relationship will find a place of burnout. And that is a real space, and it is very exhausting. And the problem with this is resentment starts to grow, and it starts to affect the healing of the person on the recovery journey. They might even regress actually in their recovery because they're trying to do their own, and then they're kind of babysitting the partner who's not doing their work. So it's still an unhealthy dynamic, but with potential. And I suppose the encouraging side of this would be if both partners were doing inner work and acknowledging, what they bring and learning how to grow together. And then if you're truly blessed, then you are on this journey of restoration, like I say, and or I should put it this way, you're both on this journey. And the one who God has poured his love into is also on this journey, and his divine timing will bring them to you or bring you both together to experience the heavenly love. One beyond your imagination that will heal as much as it fascinates and revives your spirit, soul, and body. So I believe this. I believe God, those of you that are called to marriage, that are called to a soulmate, as we say, your person, when God is the one that brings two people together, it is first spiritual. This is very beautiful, actually, and uncommon. I would say it's very rare to have this connection, certainly spiritually first, and that both people are attuned to this, because this is all God. This is divine love. God puts his love in the person that he's called you to be with, and he puts his love in you, and so much more. Because really what is happening is when he creates two people to be together, it's not that it's going to be perfect, because nothing's perfect on this side of eternity, but it's going to be perfectly aligned and perfectly matched. You will both have each other's missing puzzle pieces. So your person is going to know you by God's divine revelation. They're going to not just know you, but they're going to want to know you, even as they get to know you and they see that, they start seeing sort of your areas of brokenness, the areas that you struggle with. It's not going to scare them away. It's not going to turn them off. It's not going to be a stumbling block in the relationship. In fact, they're going to be more motivated to want to love you in those areas that you feel are vulnerable for yourself. and vice versa. You're going to have that same fervor and fire for your person to bring the healing love that they need, because that's really what a divine marriage and union is. It's healing love and so much more, you guys, so much more. Any questions? Now, this also applies, I'm kind of talking about romantic relationships, but this applies to all relationships. So family relationships, friendships, acquaintances, co-workers. When I have the love of God within me, I'm able to have the Spirit of God within me. So I'm able to be patient with people who maybe aren't reciprocating or even receiving, the love and kindness that I'm trying to give to them. I also have the wisdom and discernment to know when to pull back when I feel like people are taking advantage of me. It's so much happens when you have this true love within you. You learn how to set your boundaries and keep your boundaries. You don't. It's just amazing. So amazing. Hi, Malia. Good to have you tonight. So yeah. Are the eyes of your heart opened to the true love? Because when they are, the whole world looks very different. You begin to see what true love is and what it isn't. My heart is as strong as my love in relation to all of my relationships. And if you're struggling with love recently, my encouragement to you is to take some time to go into the quiet place with love himself and let him pour it into you. Let him show you and reveal to your spirit, to your soul, and to your body what true love is, so you can receive it. Receive the sacred love of God and give that love to others in a healthy way. So, any questions? If not, I'm going to wrap. I'll be back next week with our final video. We're going to talk a little bit more about this love and how to love in the spirit, how to recognize love, how to live in love, because we're called to live in love. So we'll learn the depth of my heart's vision and what beauty I can see when my heart is filled with the true love. That's all for tonight, y'all. I love y'all so much. I'll be back on Wednesday for our anxiety support stream. And we are also doing a series for that live stream, okay? So I'll see you then. And if y'all need me, please feel free to reach out, shesrestored@gmail.com. And my website, shesrestored.com. You can find me on Instagram as well. And like I said, I still have some availability for June if you're interested in my sessions. With that, I will say good night. Love y'all and talk soon.